And yeah, today we still have Nsikan from the United States of America coming here to continue the project he started last week. Nsika, do you want to turn on your camera so we can all see your smiling face? So
Yes,
you
yes.
remember last week we had our
Thank you.
both our junior as well as our senior lecturer who was here with us. I hope he's going
Thank
to be
you.
around today so that he can also
Yeah.
help us to develop the application. So what are we doing today? We want to continue what we started and what we're doing. I'm trying to look at my other screen for the title, building um, mobile
Score
friendly
sheet.
score sheet application. So we've
Yeah.
gone very far, to be very, very honest. But we got to some point and they were trying to do something and it was just trying to act up like the normal experience you would have while building applications, troubleshooting. So Sika took that as an assignment within the week. And so Sika, I want to ask you, last week, what was giving you the confidence that you could carry on with the policeman standing by you?
Yes, I've just realized that the best way to do things like this is just to be yourself, just flow. That's the
Mhm.
key word, just flow. Yeah. And I've been teaching some people online with him. So, and
Oh, okay,
sometimes
okay.
I just tell them, hey, I have another lecturer here. So whatever
Yeah, with
happens,
you.
keep your
So
eye on the
because
screen.
as
Yeah,
see, I can tell you for a fact that I know exactly that feeling because
yeah,
I currently sit in that kind of situation too. But sometimes it becomes difficult for young parents to be able to, balance family and try not to be very
yeah,
harsh on your children and then still do
yeah,
what you are supposed to do. And then you don't scare them away, become something very, very serious because like
yeah,
sometimes you tend to want to shout. If it's bigger than that now, sometimes when you see that this guy, you should be able to know that I'm doing something, and then it does not really, So
that's when he will play more.
you
Yeah,
understand. So I will just maybe one day we'll just come on a freestyle and just discuss generally how you're able to
yeah,
manage toddler and live events, background,
yeah,
because some people will use it as demoralizing, what do I call it, situation, right? Why
yeah,
some other people will be able to convert it to an opportunity to, bring
yeah,
him early into the whole deal.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. Thank you.
so I really appreciate your dedication, and I'm sure that that
Thank you so
contributed
much.
to to one of some of the issues that we are having. I was thinking, live
A lot.
events have live events have a way of making you feel that you don't know what you are doing, right? So
Bro.
what you did backstage, now you are trying to do it and it's failing. But I'm also sure that those little kind of, hey, can you sit down there? Hey, can you come here? Also contributed to it.
Yeah,
And I was just feeling that it's possible that after this call, just immediately after this call, you may just discover what happened and say, hey.
it's
So yeah,
just one little thing. Yeah.
yeah, you get. So I can imagine that. So I want to give you the mic, and I'm sure that everyone out there listening is curious to really see what that app is going to turn into. So what are we doing once
Yeah,
again? We are designing a mobile application that teachers can use to track students' score while even on their mobile phone. And that is a very innovative idea. So, Jessica, I'll be passing the mic only to you, and I'll go to the backstage and watch what you're doing.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much. All right. I will have to use the second. I'm sure you all can see me. Okay, I think it's much better now with this. Okay, so at any point you can see me, let me know, but I can see myself on the screen, so I'm sure I'm live now. Thank you very much, Joseph. And it's such an exciting thing to share knowledge with people. And over here it's just 10:40 a.m. We are still in our morning session over here. And good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you're joining from. Today we are going to be working on an application I actually felt is necessary we have to ease the workload on teachers lecturers, trainers. So if you're trying to see how you can contribute to your students' progress in the classroom without having to deal with so much paperwork. So we're trying to build a simple mobile-friendly application that can help you impute your scores, student scores, and also be able to share that with your supervisors or other teachers, other trainers. All right, so I will just go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. Once again, thank you, Joseph Afeso, for this opportunity. You know, I don't play with this. It's an honor to share knowledge on the platform of one MVP I respect so much, quietly doing great things. All right, so you all can see my screen. I'm very sure of that. I will say let's continue from where we stopped, but I'd just like to start from scratch. The idea is to create a solution to have our applications and other things safe. So I'll just create new, let me just call it pillars. Call it pillars. So we kind of have a container to house our application. And perhaps we want to also do some automation. I mean, the application is going to be something we work on progressively over the months. All right. So we'll keep on building layers upon layers. So you can imagine building a house. You start with the foundation, and sometimes you just travel and then come back. You've seen something different on the house. They've gone ahead. So that's what we're going to happen on this application. We'll just start with the foundation and keep building up as ideas pour in. And I would also love to have people sending their ideas on how they would love the application to develop further. So start thinking of something when it's time, we'll talk about it. So we'll use the phone friend because we want to make it mobile friendly. It's not everyone that has tablets. So we'll just use phone. We'll call it Pillars Core. Let me just use application just in case I already have that name because of the global uniqueness. I know today someone is saying, let's just get to the point. Let's see the application work. I'm not going to say so much. I'm not going to spend so much explaining things. But over here, we have tree view that tells you what's going on your application. All right. Then we have, oh, someone is saying the live stream has been disconnected. Joseph, you might want to check that. Thank you. So I'll go ahead and add my list. Always take note of your site name on SharePoint. All right. So I'll call this pillars. Okay. Pillars 4. Pillars core shoot. All right. So now that we are here, we just go ahead and add more columns to our table. Yeah, because this is a table. You're trying to create a schema for your application data source. So we have the title. If you want to change the name, you can go ahead and change the name. Column setting, rename it to, let's just call it student's name. Then we add the second one. You will want to have the course of study or the course you're trying to mark. If it is for secondary school, you can use subject so you don't get confused. It all depends on your situation. We also want to have the course, and then so you don't forget, let's just have the date first before we put it. I'll just date code. I don't want to include time. I want to make it friendly. The default value should be today's date so that you can always be sure you're current. After that, we'll have the score. I'll just call it score point. If you want to be having space, it's a choice. I'll just leave everything together like that. There's nothing really wrong with having a space. I don't want to have decimal places. I don't want to have default number so that you don't mistakenly give someone a wrong value. Just want it to be very blank. And then we have students name, the course, and the date scored, score points. Just in case you want to upload maybe some kind of evidence, should your student protest for having to score 100 instead of 70. There's some student like that. They don't trust them so that they can still score 100. They may want to sue you to court. So you don't want to stay without an evidence. You want to upload the student's details. Maybe if you had it on the paperwork, so you can just say, let's just call it evidence. It's quite funny, but I'll just, or you can call it proof of work. Yeah. Call it proof of work, and then you can just describe it, evidence of examination attendance. So I've just been evidence of attendance. There's no need to put examination. So what kind of file do you want? Just leave it at image. Okay. That's basically everything that we may need. And secondly, because the application will already have your personnel, your details. So, but if you want to put a personnel, you can. It depends if you're in an organization and you have all your contacts, all the staffs in the organizations, you can just pick your personnel. But I'll just leave that. Just in case you want to have a remark, let's say we want to have a remark. If the scorer has something he wants to say, remarks. So let's make it multiple. Okay. So we have students name, the course, date scored, score points, proof of work, remarks. So we are good. And remember, on SharePoint list is auto save. Everything you're doing is saving automatically. You don't have to do save. So we head back to Power Apps, and we want to make sure we have our data source added. Some people prefer to do it after they have structured their application. So let's just try that. So the first thing you want to do, you want to create multiple screen. I want to have up to 3 screens. It all depends on what you want. Always ensure you are on tree view to see what's going on here. This is your app name. If in case you're not sure you like that name, you may want to go to setting and do some changes. If you want to describe for scoring, whatever works for you. And remember, you don't have to click save, it's auto save. If you want to change the image, you can change it. Just what works for you. And then there's one more thing I want to add to this. Where is it? Yeah, auto fits. Yes, I wanted to make sure I put this here so that anyhow you turn your screen, it can be auto fits. Scales the app. Depending on the kind of screen you use, it should already fit into your screen. Okay, just to ensure that it's on. So the first thing we've done is to go to the screen one and rename our screen. You will always want to have a good, let me use this so that you can see the home very well. So home screen, and the second one, let's just call it, let's call it the score screen. The score screen. And then the third screen, we want to have just the list. You can just call it screen list. All right. Where you can view, or just call it view screen, view, just view only. All right. So we are in our home screen. What do we need on our home screen? We just need to have someone preview or just have an idea what they're doing. So just have a text label here. So this is all depends on you and your choice of customization. So I'll just put, oh, sorry. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to, let me do something more professional. Welcome to Pillars Core Sheet. Okay. All depends on your choice. So you can see this is the properties pane where you can come and depending on what you are highlighting at the moment, you can go ahead and customize it. So this is size and position. How do you want to position your title? You want it at the center, it stays at the center. I'm sure my fonts are very tiny. You may not see it very well. So let me increase the fonts. It's awesome. So you can see quite well. I would have loved bold. Some people prefer bold, but bold seems to be too much on my face. So I'll just use regular. All right. I just love some kind of fancy effect. I like this. Let me see. This looks like, so you can do a lot of things over here. I don't want to dwell on that. You want to fill the background. Is it black you want? Do you want the black color? Excuse me. Or you want this color? Let me stick to, this color means a lot of things to me. Anywhere I see green, I have a thing for green because of my affiliation to that color. All right, so welcome to Pillars Core Sheet application. So we have this here. So I'm just trying to make some customization, do some customization. How do I want to have a picture? I go to stock image and let me put this here or this. It might just take some time to load. Let me go back. Okay, so always ensure you have it well loaded before you leave. And if you have any plan to fill in, you want to fill in, it's up to you. You can fill it in. So I'm kind of looking for a color that is common at the background. Just, it all depends on you and your preference for aesthetics. Let me see. Trying to see what I can do. So let's go to custom. I'm not seeing the exact. Okay, got something. Yeah, I've got something better. So I'll just prefer this. Yeah, it all depends on you. So on our home screen, what do you want to have? You want to be able to navigate to the other screens. There won't be another way to do that except you have some buttons on your. So this is what the person will see once they open the application. This is what happens. They just see this. Welcome to Pillar Score Sheet application. So this is where you preview your application and try to see the functionality. For now, nothing's happening. So I'll just go back. I want to add a button. Remember, everything you're doing it on the screen. You can see it here on the tree view. On your tree view, if you click on home screen, clicking on this screen, nothing is here. But if you click on home screen, you kind of have text canvas. That happens to be this, but I want to rename it. You always want to have a better name for it. Just call it text header or title. You just call it title. Or let's just call it header. Okay. Okay. So there are many ways you can rename your control. They call it control. You can either come to this place. Once you click on it, you have a choice to change the name from there. So back to home screen, we want to have a button that will take us to the other two screens. So we had a button here. So you can see Copilot is saying we are suggesting, it's not compulsory, it's a suggestion, right? You like to rename this to this? I'll just say, well, let's have it. Let's just allow Copilot to have a good interaction with my application. I'm not so fixed. I don't have a fixed mindset. So I'm having an open mind for Copilot to interact with me, make suggestion before Copilot gets upset. I'm just joking. So you have the button here. What do we call it? Let's just rename it BTN. Where do we go? Let's call it score. If what I'm doing is not consistent with my initial naming, Copilot will suggest, so I kind of leave it there. I want this button to take me to where we have the score, the screen score. So we'll just call it enter scores. So use action word for it so the person just knows what to do. Enter score. Or let's just say enter new score. Yeah. Enter new score. Would that be too long? We'll leave it at new score. So how do you want it? You want the icon? Let's leave it at this. Some people prefer an icon. What do we do? I just add this ad just to have the person know what we are doing. How do you want it? You want the ad to be before the icon, the text. So let me kind of increase this, but I'll just get it back to the way it should be. Always remember you have control over everything that happens here, including your font size. Okay, my font size, I'll just call it 16. Let's see what happens. That's quite small. 20. I'm just trying to make sure you all can see what is happening there. So do you want your new score, the @ sign to be before or after? So you can do all of that here. Or you can just say icon only. Let's see. Would that help the person, or icon after? It all depends on how you want it. Like I said, you are the sole administrator of this application. You are the one building it. You also have the choice to do what you want to do. So I'll just remove it. I don't want to add any plus sign. I'll just do text only. Okay. All right. So let me increase my font a bit to 25. Here you go. So this is my new score. I don't like the blue background. I want everything to be okay. So I'll just do the fill. Let me look for what is close. I think I prefer this. Not quite. Okay. That kind of goes with close to what that girl is wearing. What she's wearing. So we have this sorted out. We're gonna have the next button that will take us to the other screen. But sometimes, just to have consistency, you can duplicate this. You can duplicate this, all right? Just so you have the same size of. And so if you have been using different application on mobile apps, that will kind of give you an idea of how you should rearrange your stuffs, all right? I may not have the best arrangement here, but just pardon me if you don't like the way my app is looking. That's what I expect it to do for yours, make yours better than mine. So want to have view scores. So you want to view the already existed scores. And so that will impact our name, button, view. Okay. So here we go. Once I play, I click on this, nothing happens because I have not started adding some. I should differentiate this from the other one. So let's make some color changes. Okay. Then this should be this. Yeah, it depends on what you want. Let's leave it at this. So just kind of have differentiation for them. So let's come to, we have an action. Once you click on this, you already have it on the properties on select. There are the other properties. If you want to change the icon, you can click on this, the layout, how do you want it, the colors, several other properties. You could just go check that up and try things out. But I'll just stay on select. Okay, I'll go back to select. I'll just select this. Someone's microphone is on. I'm sure you might want to mute that. Thank you. So you click on select, and you have the opportunity to put in your action word. What do I want this guy to do? I want this guy to go to the third screen. I'll just say navigate. So the application functionality is that of an intelligent application. It helps you to even suggest the formula you're trying to make use of. So it kind of guides. You can see it's asking me navigate target screen. So it makes things easy for you. No wonder they call it low code or no code application. And so I just navigate to where I'll call it screen. Just see what will happen to bring that up here. Screen view, right? So once that happened, how do I want my screen to, how do I want the action to take place? It's about the screen transition. How do you want it to dance to the home screen or to the view screen? I'll just say don't do anything, just none. But it all depends on you. You can put in an action for it to dance out. Okay, that is just it. I'll just go to new score, the unselect, remove from false to navigate. Where do we navigate to? We navigate to score. I hope the previous one was on view. I will need to check that again. So that various way you can do that, you put comma or you just close it. All right, you close it and then put this and then continue screen. I'll just put fade. All right, and that's just it. I feel like this space is so empty. What can be done here? That is where we're going to be doing some upgrade to our application. All right, so we'll come to that. We can even have your picture displayed here, have some animation here, have some videos that will keep the person, just keep the person busy. So we'll come to that, but let's just move forward. So we are done with the home screen, and then let's get back to this. But I don't want to just get back to, I don't want to go to this course sheet screen using this. So I'll just play new score. So I'm here. That means it's working. And so what do you want to have on your score screen? All right. You might want to have so I didn't connect my data source. You want to do that. So the first thing you need to do you want to have a text label here, a kind of header? Yes, I want to have that so that I know where I am at the time. So I'm building this application as though I'm the end user. Always have that in mind. Always have the end user in mind when you're building your application. So I'll call it, what screen is this? Score. Enter, please kind of have some courtesy. It's enter score. Enter students. Enter student score. And now center, kind of saying justify, don't justify, center. Vertical alignment, middle. If you like it at the top, that's fine. But I'll just prefer it to be at the middle. Auto height. So that kind of helps me adjust. You can see what happened when I did the auto height. That adjusted everything for me. So that means if I increase my font, it will automatically adjust the height as I'm increasing the font. So let's see, the font is 30. It will adjust. You can see what happens there. So that's making things easy for me using the auto height. So you might want to just leave it at that. The font color, like I said, I love this guy, so I'll just keep maintaining that color. But some persons like me, I don't like the way this guy is just looking up with a small letter. I'll just leave it there. That kind of makes sense for me. We all have different preferences. So I'll leave it at white. I'll leave it at white, nothing here. So what do we have next? We should include our form, our edit form. All right, we should include our edit form. Okay. Let's have our form. So it's asking me what form do you want to add? What form do you want to add? We go to connectors and click for SharePoint. If you didn't sign in, you'll be prompted to sign in. So it's on that training. I already have it as pillar score sheet. I think this is where we had the drama the last time. Hopefully the drama doesn't repeat itself today. I've already changed the people acting the drama. This one has some level of sanity. Okay. So you can adjust that here, just bring it down a bit so it doesn't overlap with the header. You can just leave it here. I might need to have some button at the top, so you can just consider that. If you prefer to be scrolling things up, you want to be scrolling it, or you just want everything to show, it all depends on you. I'll leave it here. Okay. But I've not added my data here. Did I add my data? Okay, so you can edit your fields. So the fields has to do with what do you want to appear over here. If I don't want content type, I can remove that. All right. You can also rearrange your fields. So this is what they call field. Yeah. You can also call it column, but you can move it up, move it down. I'll just leave it here. The ones that is below will be showing up. If you come here, you'll see move down. It depends on where you are. All right. So I think at the middle point, you can have the choice up or down, just so you know that. So we have this here. Nothing is showing. We'll get that, don't worry. All right. So what do we do for, this is just for the source. All right, so we need to have a button, that will help us submit our forms once we are finished filling it or no. Want it to be somewhere here. That's cool. Submit. I'll leave it as submit. For the first time, we'll just leave it at blue. So when you select the submit, what happens? That's when you put in your details here. All right. Once you submit, what do you want to happen? I'll just say, okay, let's make this. I already wrote my formula, but I can just do that again so you can see what we are doing. I'll just submit form. What form are you talking about? Form 1. Submit form 1. Okay. Submit form. Form 1. Once you submit the form, help us refresh it. Or you just reset the form. What form do you want to reset? You want to reset it so that, yeah. We'll come back to that. Okay. So always save your work. It's always good to save your work. All right. So once we've done this, let's go to the next screen and have just view. We'll still add some action button that will take us to the home screen. But I want to just have a gallery. So gallery is just for viewing. All right. Display. That should be under, where do you have gallery? Okay, so you have just type gallery and kind of use blank vertical gallery. It will ask me what do you want to display. I'll just add my data source to it. So at the moment there's nothing to display because I've not added anything yet. Okay. Okay, so one thing, let's go back to our score. So did you guys observe that if I click play, nothing is displayed here? What could be the cause? Just in case you're having that experience, if you are trying to do it, what could be the cause? So let's go to a property called unvisible. So unvisible, what should be there? So on visible, we need to have, oh, sorry. On visible, I want a new form to be displayed. What form? Form 1. Okay. Form 1. So let's see if that changes. Hold on. On visible. Hold on. What did I click on visible? What did I click on visible? Okay. Oh, sorry. On the screen score, on visible, yes, it should show this form. Okay. Let me see. We need to have edit form. Form 1. Yeah, that should be it. Let me save. Go back to this. Otherwise, we'll just leave it at that. Okay. Let me see. Unlock changes. Okay. Have it. Okay, there's a title. So I want to be able to fill in my, is there another one? Invisible. Okay, so that's true. Should display. Okay, so let me get back to my home screen and kind of see what happens. New score. Let's go back to this on our form. Let's add our data source and see what happens. Okay, still not showing. Okay, let's just get things going. We'll come to that. So we were at the view pane. We want to be able to view our scores. We add this, we added this. Okay, let's just add it again. And so you can come here and it's blank, it's on blank. So you want to show this. Yeah. And you want to have your field, the body score points. I want to have the student's name. Where do we have student's name? Remember, this is picking the title. All right, that title is where you have the student's name. So I just want to come here, edit fields. I want to have this title first. Title first. Then that's the name, the course, and the score points. Okay. Okay, so that is it. But we don't have anything to show. We don't have anything to show. Okay. So let me save this. Let me publish this first so we don't forget. So nothing to show. So just want to be sure everything is in order. Student name, course. Okay. Reconfirm your name to Pillar Score Sheet. Pillar Score Sheets. So let's have a review of what we've done so far. And You want to have a button too that will take you back to, let's just say, do I have this customized home screen? Awesome. So you can just have it here. That will help you. So when you select this, it will navigate to the home screen. Screen home. All right. The screen transition, fade. So you want it to take you to home screen, just click on it. Okay, so hold on. New score. So I'm still finding no item to display. Why is not displaying item? Visible true. Just excuse me, let me rename that. What did I use earlier? I was in this form. Okay. Just trying to make sure I'm on the right. You can, okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see, adjust this here. Adjust this here. Proof of work. Oh, our dear. Hold on. This guy is hiding. I need to remove it from wherever he's hiding. How do I do that? Let me see. Our button. Okay. It's just to, so what you do is just go to your tree view and select the button. Okay. So what is this? Let's label this so we know what it is. Text header 2. All right. So we do this here. The whole point is to make sure that this guy displays. So let's have our form, data source pillar. Where is our where is our visibility? Hold on. I should have a default. Just give me a second. I wrote that formula somewhere. Okay. So we have visible is true. It should be visible. So what is happening? Let's get our form, our submit button, the formulas first. So once we select that, it should submit. It should submit our form. What form should it submit? You can see form 2 should be submitted. Once that is done, it should refresh or reset the form so that you can resubmit the form again. That's it for that. On visible, form 2. No item to display. I don't believe this is it. Let me see. This shouldn't be it. Okay. Let me see something. Let's maintain it true. So we are here now. Let me get this. This. It shouldn't even submit because there should be an item to display. What is not done correct? Let me quickly check. Let me know if you were following up and you are up to this point with me. We're going to troubleshoot this together today. Navigate. I had my, yes, anyone that did anything and you've gotten past this point, let me know in the comment section, and you're watching live, and also those that are currently on the Teams call. Okay. Okay, so let me just do this on visible. Let me try this. Let me give you some command. If it is blank, if it's blank, what should it do? If it's blank, if it's blank, I want to see. I already have that formula here. Let me quickly go to where I saved it. Submit form. Okay. So if it's blank, start all over. Is blank expression. Submit. What should it do? A condition that is results in Boolean value. Current. Indivisible. See. So let me know if your form is displaying when you play. I'm wondering why mine is not doing that. If it's blank, the form is blank, then show edits. Okay, let's see what happens. Guys, this guy must show. I think this guy has to show. Why is it not showing? Did I publish this? Let me see. But that shouldn't be the issue. Guys, let me consult my. Let me just quickly look up on Copilot to find out why that is that. Yes, Joseph. So if anyone has a question, they can ask while I troubleshoot this. I hope you can hear me, Joseph.
Yes, please. I can hear you, Sika.
Yeah.
So if anyone has question, I only noticed that your stream is now only available on Facebook. Your stream to LinkedIn at some point was saying sharing data, and that's not displayed anymore. So from what I see here, saying sending data, and someone was already commenting on your stream that you're no longer live on LinkedIn, but you're actively on Facebook.
Yeah, I call your attention
as well. Yeah, I'm still trying to stream and say sharing data, so the data is not going there. I'm just also checking if we have any question on Facebook.
All right.
So I perfectly understand what is going on here, because when sometimes you want to try backstage, coming to live events, you just discover that things will not just work as planned. So we have good engagement on my own Facebook account. So I'm sure that a lot of people are also waiting to see what we are going to conclude with today. So for me, even if it is something that would have to come back to, I'm sure that a lot of persons want to see how we can push this to a mobile phone. So if troubleshooting the displays will give us issues, I would suggest that we can proceed, right, and get this in the phone and see how the look and feel is, and then we can get back to make it better, reviewing the displays and everything about that. So it's not going to be bad as well, Sika, honestly.
Yeah, I get you.
So that's what I think. Yeah, in terms of publishing, in terms of sharing, in terms of accessing it, so we need to just look at that as well, while we also try to troubleshoot all this.
Yeah,
that's what I think we should do. But so far, the concept is making sense already. From the home screen, you have option to enter score. If your intention of coming in is not to enter score, then you can just go view score directly, which makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Okay. So you're talking about trying to, maybe if you want to have it shared. So you can see this share button here. Although this is a developer environment, you also need to take that into consideration. But I can choose to add. Yeah, I can choose to add. You see, this app contains data that may require additional permissions for users to be able to play the app. So require data access. They need to have this app contain the following resources. So if they don't have this, so I need to give them permission at this level and also at this SharePoint, the data source level SharePoint, and also, let me go back so you can see what I'm talking about. So I can add the emails of the people. Maybe you can just give me your own email.
Okay. Okay, I will just do that. But it can be a Gmail,
access.
right?
Yeah. Manage access. I want to.
So someone can just display the member of the team, please. You can just send your email address on the chat so that we can have that there. Anyone, please. I'm looking at the charts at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So first to send, we're going to use that person's address. Thank you. When guys typing already.
Yeah.
So just in a minute, we should get a mail. All right, so we have one email already available. The second person is typing. So do I pick it for you or you pick it from the chat on Teams?
Yeah, let me check. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they just send it coming. They just keep sending keep sending the emails while I also check this. Kind of someone is waiting excitedly to see how this works. Okay, so let's try this and see.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's try this formula. Mm-hmm. I'll share this formula if this works. Just if it doesn't work, then, but I'll just share the formula with you. Manipulate this and then click on this. Where is our default mode? Okay, default mode should be on form new. Okay, just trying to make sure my item equals to, oh, I see. So I'll explain to you guys what happened. Okay. I'll explain to you. That's the beauty of troubleshooting. Okay, so I think we are back. So, Joseph, thank you for the patience. I hope I'm still connected.
Making sense, yes, so far. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So, sorry, guys, I had to ensure we are back on this. It's very important. Yeah, I had to quickly find out where the issues was from. So you can see that I'm sure some of you were seeing what I was doing. Let me enlarge this. Let me increase this. Pardon me. I've learned from Joseph not to give up on things when I don't like the idea of coming back. It doesn't even make any sense to me. If I was someone learning on the live, I'll be like, what's going on? We've been coming back for the past 2 weeks. So okay, so what happened is that I wanted to make sure my form's properties are set. This guy was not, it was blank. So you wouldn't expect. Apart from that, also the default, click on the form, right? Go to your default mode was on edit instead of new. Take for instance, so that caused that. All right, so just make sure you're on form, and then you go to your default mode. It should be on a new form. You want it to be on a new form, and then you go to your item. Make sure you're still on your form. Go to item. What should be there? It should be your data source, which is the score sheet in this case. Hold on. It didn't populate that well, so get back to it. There's an error in this one. Let me resume from run it again. There's no error. There's no error. So you want it to be at default. The first thing you need to see is your okay. So at default, you want it to be that it is your at default. So default should be the form. This is it. This form here. You want to make sure at default it should be this form that should be displayed. So when you play this, you can have the opportunity to put in your data and all of that. So let me kind of walk through what we've done. So this is for if you want to add anything, but I don't like it's too tiny, but that's not for now. So let me just quickly run down what we've done so far up to this point. Sorry, my screen went off. Up to this point, first of all, we name our application. You can see it here. You can edit your app name. All right, Pillars Core application. So we came here, and then the first thing we did, we added screens. Home screen, 3 screens first. So let me just quickly reduce this and make sure we just have screens. All right, so you have 3 screens over here, and the icon or the kind of symbol that helps you know where you are. This is a screen symbol, this rectangular icon here. So that helps you. If you can see, every other control have different icon attached to it. So we have our home screen, our score sheet screen, our views only screen. Okay. So with that, we worked on the home screen. We added our title or header, welcome to Pillars Score Sheet application. Then we also added a picture from here. We went to stock images. There are a lot of images on stock. You can, depending on your choice, you can select. And then we added this control, new score. So how did I get this? I just click on insert. You can also come here and click on this plus, insert. Okay, just a button. So there are some people that are classic buttons. By classic, I mean, it's an old one, so I don't want that. So you can click on the button. Once you click on your buttons and keep them all lined up here, the first button was to take us to, no, we have 3 screens. Let's get back to our tree view. Just trying to run up everything, then we'll test our application. We have the home screen, right? And the screen score, the screen view. So I want this button to take us to the score screen. What do? I click on navigate. You type navigate on select. Initially to be blank, right? So you type navigate. The target should be what? Screen score. And you close it. How do you want it to behave in terms of the screen transition, fade, and that's it. So when you want to test, you can test your app, always save your application and then test it and see. If you click on new score, it brings you here. All right, that's what we did now. So just trying to recap everything I've done. And then the same thing for this view score. You click on it, make sure you are on select. There are a lot of properties here, but make sure you're on select. Navigate to wherever you want to navigate it to. So I want to navigate to screen view. I do the same thing, screen transition dot none. All right, so we've done that. Let's go to the next screen. This core screen here, we had to add, let me open it so you can see. We had to add edit form. We have types of forms. We have edit form, we have forms. Just search for edit form and you click on it. It will ask you data source. You populate your data source. But always remember to make sure you have your data source here added. If you didn't add it, you can click on add and you'll be asked where do you want it to connect us. And then you go. If your data source is in Microsoft Outlook, you can also add it. Wherever it is on SharePoint, you click on it. It will show you the tenant. You sign in, and then you select the site. Once you select the site, you select the particular table you want to use. All right, so that is it for that. And I also, so once you bring that in, it will populate the data card. These are the data cards, like the fields, based on what you have in your, oh, I don't want this content type. I don't want this to be here. So I can just go ahead and click on form, go to edit fields, remove this content type. I don't want it, but I want my remarks to be there. All right. And this one too is too large. I can reduce. Can I reduce this? Okay, I have to make sure it's on advanced, unlock, right? I think I can. Okay, that's not a problem. Let's not struggle. Let's struggle on that. But I didn't like the fact that it's too large. Okay, so here you go. And just in case you want your screen to be, you can bring this down here. So you want to see everything. Click on the form again and kind of open up things. We'll just leave it here. Okay, so we did that, and of course the header, like you did for the everything, kind of this almost the same thing. The header that you have for the home screen, you also do the same thing, so you know where you are. Okay, and then we have this button here. Remember what you did on the form. Make sure that your item, the default on this form, default is on pillar score. Okay, make sure it's on pillar score. So the submit button, we want to submit the form. What form do we want to submit form to? I can change the name. Watch this. Oh, someone will say, hey, sir, let's not go there before you scatter everything. But just in case, I want to say, hey, I don't like that form too. Let it be form. Just form. So something will happen. This guy should be able to. So you see what happened here? automatically it has updated itself form score. But I think previously, once I have made that changes, I have to come back to the formula bar and correct it. So all thanks to this guy here, Copilot, it kind of understood what happened and then replaced that name. Okay. Let me just in case you're trying to copy the formula, I'll just leave it there, or I can just share it on. I can always share the formula on the platform. Yeah. So let's test our. I think I've been able to show you around. Then for the view, I think we should do the same thing. Default should be pillars score sheets. All right, so let's see. So you can see what happened. So that default alone, just adding the default alone makes it to show, you see. So, but there's nothing here, so I'll go back home. Let's test our application. Are we ready? So can someone help me? Joseph, you might want to just give me someone's name, anybody's name. I don't want to use my name. Just give me anybody's name.
You can use my name, of course, right? So that it's easier for you to type.
Joseph Afeso.
Yes, please.
Joseph, are you sure I won't give you? What's your favorite subject? I'll just say Ezi 104. That guy
that's my nightmare.
So Joseph, yes. I mean, let Microsoft see that someone has hit 900 and something, and Microsoft is saying, what's the evidence? This is our evidence. I want to put ABC of cloud. I like this. I like this. This is one of the corporation that has helped me. All right, so I want to put a remark. At this point, I'm the teacher here, so because I've never seen this result for AZ 104, outstanding result. So Microsoft needs to check this guy out. Okay, I'll just click submit. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's submitted, but then I'm not happy with the way it's submitted. I'm supposed to have a notification just to let me know everything went fine. All right, so let's go back. Just to be sure, let's play it again. So once I submit, there should be a button here that will take me to view results. Yes. So it all depends. I mean, the application is something you keep building. You keep building and do what you want to do. It depends on the situation. So I want to have, where can I have that? Where should we have that? This looks like, okay, let me just keep it beneath that. Display view results. So if I want to view results, let's call it 10. Okay. Color palettes. Let me use this. Okay. So I want to view my results. Let me get navigate to screen view so that I don't have to go home first and then, sorry. Okay, let's see, save that. Just want to view the results. Nothing is showing. What's happening? I thought we did submitted it, so let's go back to, let's refresh this. Okay, so Joseph has shown. We have Joseph. This has populated on our back end, but we are wondering why it's not here. So let's be sure everything is in order. Default pillar score sheets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me reconnect that just in case. Okay, so please take note of what I just did now. I had to just reconnect that again. Remember, if it were to be a production environment, there are some settings you would do, auto refresh and all of that. So let's come here. So this is the results, but it should be named first before. So let's go new score. View results. So let's kind of rearrange this. Our gallery, the field. So title. So looking at this, the name, whatever is on top is the last thing you can see. So that means title should be here. Just simple logic. Comparing this, what you have here. All right. So that means whatever is on top is below. Whatever is below is on top. So score points. Can you see what happened now? It's just simple logic. All right. So we have it here now. But from here, just in case I've viewed the results, I don't want to go home. I want to enter new results. So can I also have another button here? Instead of having to name things, just call it, let's look for, oh, sorry, add button. So just in case I want to add a new score. So I want to add a new score. What when I select that, what should happen? It should take me to, navigate me to the screen score. Yeah. No drama needed, no transition. Just take me there. If I want to add new scores, I can just go ahead and type in. So let me just put my name. Let's call this chemistry, for instance. Just anything. I will choose this August. Today's Saturday, so I'll just choose 16. Okay. Score points 65, for instance. I'll just submit that. It's submitted. So how do I know? Let me view result. Okay, it automatically populated here. And then I was talking about having a better. So once you do this, we should have this success submission to show that once we have submitted is successfully submitted. How do we add that? So I'll just add notify score or submitted successfully. Score submitted successfully. Let me add this exclamation over here. Score submitted successfully. So how do I want it to behave? Notification type, it should just show success, not warning. Success, okay. Is there anything I didn't do right? Okay, I didn't close it. So always remember to close your brackets. You see, open bracket, close it, open, close it, open, and then close it. I'll save it here. Let me just type Francis Henry. That name just came to my head now. Math. When do we want to do that? Here. Score 65, 80. Let me use 80. So just watch out what's happening here. You've seen the update now. Score submitted successfully. All right. So once it does that, it refreshes. You go to view results. You can see our result is already showing here. We're talking about sharing the application. Yes. So Joseph, we've seen how our app has been brought to. So any suggestion? Maybe while I was doing that, you just have some ideas. Someone had an idea. You want us to do some things. So no one mentioned us going home from here. There is no place for home. So let's just do that before I open the floor for questions. Should we? I think we should also have a home button too. Or back, yes, because this is like a second screen. So you can have a back button. You kind of like want to go back. Let it be here. All right, so of course, our almighty navigate to home screen. Navigate to home screen. No drama, just leave it at that. All right. Okay, so yes, Mr. Joseph, anyone has any? So if you come back here to this is not showing, all right? It all depends on your settings. So I can just do refresh. The three stuff should show up. Yeah. All right. So this is our database, is storing everything we have. Okay. Okay, Joseph.
Yes, so
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the questions. Yeah.
I would like to say thank you for your, I have a lot of words to say about that, but maybe persistence is just what I would quickly say. Like you mentioned, we are going to be improving on this as time progresses. For me, I appreciate the fact that we did not continue from the last one. We started all the way from the beginning. But subsequently, we will just keep on improving this. We are going to explore it and see. So for the usage, we dropped email addresses on the chat. I don't know if it is still okay, if you still have the time for us to possibly test. But if we don't, right, we can do that when we want to resume our next meeting, just so we don't take extra time because we are doing that already.
Okay. Once we resume once we resume, but before that, let me just do this. I will switch to a different camera.
Okay.
Oh, what happened? Yeah, I'm sure you can see me now, right? So
yes, please.
I'm using my system camera. So let me quickly go to my mobile app on my phone. But I would just need to. So can you see can you all see what I'm showing you?
So maybe you want to stop sharing screen so that you can be on full screen view.
Okay, no. I have an idea. Yes, that's true. You're right. So let me stop sharing the screen and then share the right screen.
If you can possibly cast your phone, if you can possibly cast your phone screen too.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Yes, sir. Yeah. Let me get this. Okay. Okay, so I'm joining with my phone. Just cast my screen. Share screen. Share without audio. Okay, can you all see my screen?
It's coming on. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm also trying to watch the screen to see. Okay. So I'm trying to refresh to make sure that the current application is showing. Okay, this should be it. This should be it. I have other couples applications. So we're going to work on our icon to make sure that you can identify our application when we see one. So Mr. Joseph, if you don't mind, you can send me your logo, your Pillars Cloud logo, so that I can incorporate that into the icon on the app, but much later, sure.
Okay.
So with this, so I'm here, I click on new score, it's loading. So of course, I will, like I said, we are going to improve on this so that as things are getting loaded, all right, you can be having that notification once everything pops up. So it kind of gives the person some idea that, oh, don't worry, the action you just initiated is loading. So I know we haven't getting your data, that's okay, but I would need to have some on-screen notification so you know that you are in the right place. So while we're waiting for this to load, yeah. So this is typically what you will see. It's still trying to load, but I've already tested this out. So what I will do, I'll go check on the back end, and please, the email you send to me, you can still send more if there are more. What I'm going to do, I'm going to work on it, and then our next tutorial or session, I will just show us how I did that. And okay, I've seen a couple of emails. That's great. Thank you. So let's go back to Power Apps. Let's load it again. Okay. So click on this. Let's even go to view score and see. Okay, we can view our scores. So let's go home. New score. I think this is where we are having some challenges because, of course, it's trying to connect to SharePoint. So at this point, Joseph, our application is functioning. It just needs to be improved upon, like every other application. You keep improving upon it until you get your desired goals. And one thing I didn't mention, I will share it in the course of our training. The fact that I kept on documenting what I'm doing. Every step I take, I document. So that is part of the culture of anyone who is developing something, so that you can always revert back. If you need to check something out, you can always go back to your documentation, like what Microsoft is having on their Microsoft Learn. So you have everything documented, every step you take, so you can retrace your step if you want to make some corrections. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
All right, Jessica, thank you. I really appreciate your dedication to seeing this project to this extent. I know I can only imagine how much your time was, like 2 hours on the road is not something we want to take for granted. So we want to say thank you very much. And the team here appreciates your efforts. And we want to say, yes, we'll have to do more of this together in the coming days. For your audience on LinkedIn, we apologize. I cannot really tell why it keeps saying sending data and it's not going through, but your Facebook was active all through. So, but this is what we can sort out later, right? So, but thank you very much for your time. So I think at this point, we want to let you go so that you can attend to other activities for the weekend.
Thank you
very
so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much, sir.
you.
God bless
Thank
you. Thank
you
you all
so
for the
much.
patience.